The sun is shining down here in beautiful Southern California over Angel Stadium, and we are getting ready to gear up for show number 2 of Monster Truck Mayhem. Hi folks, my name is Jack Mitchell, joined once again up in the broadcast booth by the legendary Thunder. We have a great show coming up for you tonight, a lineup of 16 fierce competitors looking to battle it out for an overall event championship. We have 3 competitions coming up for you guys tonight, starting things off with Monster Truck Racing. You are looking at the left-hand side of the bracket on your screen right now. As you can see, a ton of heavy hitters here in tonight's competitions. We're going to get things started with race number 1, round 1. This is the VP Racing Fuel's Mad Scientist, driven by Blaine, and his opponent is going to be Skinner in that awesome-looking windbreaker.
Just waiting for the green. And we are racing here at Anaheim, California.
Looks like a whole shot to Skinner in the windbreaker. Gonna have to see if he can make it stand up as they enter the center of this tornado-style track. Mad Scientist is hanging in there, but a slight lead to the windbreaker as they exit.
And one of the innovative racing styles of Monster Truck Mayhem. And while at the finish, it looks like it is the windbreaker.
By about a truck or 2 length victory for Skinner. Our next pair is going to be El Toro Loco, driven by Joanna, taking on Hightail, driven by Jack Johnson. Green flag is out, and we are racing once again here at Angel Stadium. Looks like Joanne's having some difficulties getting off the line. Not entirely sure what may be going on there.
Oh, Hightail had some problems keeping it up on the center of the ramp.
So long as Jack can keep it together, this race is his for the taking. Looking very strong out there indeed. Smooth, clean last corner, and he will fly across the line to take the win.
Yeah. See, that was about a 10-second difference after everything.
So absolutely demolished Savannah. Our third race is going to be Shocker taking on Owo. That's Aceman and Savannah in those 2 trucks respectively. Shocker with the whole shot as they enter turn number 1 and make their way into the center of the bowl. Slight lead to Owo. Savannah looking very impressive out there indeed. Ace has got some ground to make up if he wants to win this. They are dead even entering the final turn. It's going to come down to the finish line, folks. And indeed, it was a close finish. However, Shocker is going to come out on top.
And next race, we're going to have Big Bad Wolf, Dusty Garcia versus Rusty Business, Foxy.
Green flag is out. Now, Dusty, one of the few, if I'm not mistaken, the only competitor in this circuit running a diesel monster truck. So you could argue that they are already at a disadvantage. Nevertheless, they are looking strong in this race. Both trucks are still dead even as they exit the bowl and make their way into the final turn. Watch that finish line. Looks like Rusty Business had to check up in the last turn, so the win will go to Big Bad Wolf. Moving on to our next race, Jake Boone brings out that awesome Supernova, and Cameron and Kamikaze, unfortunately, you could say, has to take him on. Jake, a very fierce competitor in that Supernova truck.
And green flag is out, green light on.
Cameron and Kamikaze really has his work cut out for him. Even though Jake tells us he's more of a freestyler, he can still show up and show out in racing, and he's got a huge lead.
Oh no.
Had to check up. Looks like the took that turn too tight, driving over the pod. Nevertheless, still holding on to the lead, giving Cameron a chance to catch up, but it's not going to be enough for Kamikaze. Supernova is your winner.
I wonder what caused that checkup. Just got a little bit loose or something. Either way, next race is out. Going to be Savage, driven by Levi Savage.
And his opponent, their opponent, I should say, is going to be Christine, driven by Mr. Grimm himself. Both drivers are waiting for the green light.
And there's the light. We're underway.
Savage looking very strong as they enter the bowl. However, slight edge to Christine so far. Right now, these two competitors fighting each other for second place in the point standing, so this race is going to matter, and it is a photo finish. I don't know who won that race. Waiting for the official call. It's going to come down to the replay. Oh my, it doesn't get any closer than that, folks, but your winner is Savage. Absolutely incredible race from those two. Coming up next, though, Purple Haze, driven by Trevor Clark, will take on Rye in American Monster.
Yeah, the last race came down to about 100th of a second, but meanwhile, green is on.
Both trucks about even coming off the line. Now they will enter the middle bowl. Still pretty much dead even between Purple Haze.
And American Made coming out right in the front out of the bowl. See what happens at the line. And it is all American Made.
American Monster, that is, will take home the win in round number 1 against Purple Haze.
American Monster is American Made. It's the same. Next up, Monster and
Going
Evil
up the track
Force.
now.
We'll
Monster
take
driving
on
Evil Force. And
Psycho
Nick
Circus.
Killis, the clown in Psycho Circus.
And there's
Nick
green
in Psycho
light.
Circus is a former freestyle champion in this league. However, no need for freestyle in this competition. It's all about racing. Marvin doing a great job in that Evil Force truck. He's got a huge lead over Psycho Circus right now. And unless he makes a mistake, this one is all his for the taking. And indeed it will be. So Marvin and Evil Force will take the win against Psycho Circus. Moving on to round number 2, you can see the Windbreaker advances to take on Shocker, and Hightail will race against Big Bad Wolf. Looking over onto the other side of the bracket, Supernova will race Savage, and American Monster will take on Evil Force.
And the Windbreaker. Go against Shocker again.
This race is for a spot in the semifinals. That Windbreaker truck was custom built by Skinner, one of the best truck builders in the industry, and that thing is bad, bad fast, and he's proving that right now with a huge lead over Ace Man and Shocker, doing his best to try and keep up with the windbreaker, but it just isn't going to be enough, I'm afraid. So this one is all Skinner's if he keeps it together.
Yeah, the suspension just holding the truck down a lot better on the windbreaker will bring him to the win.
I would call that loss embarrassing for Shocker. Nevertheless, moving on to race number 2 of our quarterfinals is going to be Big Bad Wolf taking on Hightail. As I stated in round number 1, the fact that Dusty and Big Bad Wolf has got a diesel-powered monster truck arguably puts them at a disadvantage here in this competition, but they proved otherwise in round number 1, and they're looking to make it stand up, here in round number 2.
Yeah, if they can
Both
keep
competitors
the revs
are
up,
off.
if they keep the revs up, it'll be fine though. Hard to do when you have, of course, this technical. Either way, looks like she's keeping it going, keeping it in the lead.
Jack and Hightail struggling a little bit in that center bowl, so this one appears to be all Big Bad Wolf. However, Hightail was able to make up some amount of ground, but it just was too little, too late. Your winner, Big Bad Wolf. Coming onto the track now, Jake Boone in Supernova will take on Levi Savage in Savage. Now, I think this will be a tremendous race. Both of these guys fiercely competitive. And two completely different setups here. Savage having some difficulties entering the bowl. But yeah, two completely different setups between these two trucks. Supernova rides low and has a wide stance. Savage stands tall. And in this case, Supernova looks to be the one that's going to come out on top. Savage able to make up some amount of ground, missing the ramp in the far corner. Nevertheless, your winner, Jake Boone and Supernova.
We got Evil Force and Monster. This is our last race in this bracket.
Now, Marvin and Evil Force is going to race alone as American Monster was having technical difficulties. That truck could not fire, so a disappointing night in racing for the American Monster team. So a bye run for Marvin and Evil Force as the body goes flying off. One of the downsides of having a truck that rides low to the ground, sometimes the body gets caught in those tires.
Yeah, you can see some.
Nevertheless, it's just cosmetic damage, so Marvin is going to get across the line nice and strong.
Yeah, that's why some people dovetail out their fenders. But either way, Evil Force keeps it together. Gonna move on to the next round.
So your semifinals, the Windbreaker will take on Big Bad Wolf. That should be a very interesting race indeed. Skinner has been looking strong all night, so Dusty has their work cut out for them. And Jake Boone and Supernova will take on Evil Force. I imagine that will be a very close race indeed. So let's get right into our semifinals, beginning with Dusty Garcia and Big Bad Wolf taking on Skinner in the Windbreaker. Now, I don't want to count Dusty out. However, my money is on Skinner for this one. Green flag is out, and we are underway here in Anaheim. This is for a spot in the championship race. Slight edge to Big Bad Wolf as they enter the bowl. However, Dusty all over the place, way too wide, bouncing off of the berm. That's going to give the edge to Skinner in the Windbreaker. And Skinner will seize the advantage and take the win over Dusty Garcia and Big Bad Wolf. So the Windbreaker advances to the final race of the night. However, who will face him? It will either be Marvin in Evil Force or Jake in Supernova. Now, arguably, Monster in Evil Force has been looking more consistent throughout the night than Jake has. However, that's not to count Supernova out so easily. Looks like the crew were able to get that body repaired in the short amount of time between races. Props to them for doing that.
Holding on to a lead still.
About a truck length's lead to Evil Force. Supernova with big problems rolling over. Can he save it? Going into the wall protection, that's going to be an immediate shutdown, so Evil Force will advance by default.
Unfortunate DNF for Supernova. Not the way you want to win, but they had the lead right coming into the bowl.
Well, hey, if you're going to lose, you may as well lose in style. So, the final pair of the night for the big win in the racing competition will be Skinner and the Windbreaker taking on Evil Force. Now, I don't know how you call this race. Both of these drivers have been incredibly fast, incredibly consistent all throughout the night. It really is either of them's race to win.
Yeah, the way you're going to have to call it is close.
Once again, Monster and Evil Force taking on the Windbreaker, driven by Skinner. This is for all the marbles, folks. Green flag is out, and we are racing. Marvin is really going to have to push it in that Evil Force truck if he wants to stand a chance of taking down the mighty torrent that is Skinner and the Windbreaker. However, they are neck and neck. This is the first time of the night that Skinner's actually been challenged for a racing win. It's going to be close. Assuming both drivers don't make a mistake, it's going to come down to the finish line, and it does. And Monster and Evil Force is going to pull out what is arguably the upset of this race. I don't think anybody was expecting him to win that, all due respect. Skinner has been so fast, so consistent. Very impressive win for Monster and the Evil Force team.
So the points will shake out with Monster coming off with 16, 15 going down to Skinner. They go down in increments. Down 0 points for Foxy and Rusty Business. So currently Monster, Skinner, Dusty, Jake, Ace for the top 5.
And the event is far from over yet. We still have our best skills competition coming up next. Judges are looking for a variety of things here. 2 hits, tricks, technical moves, bicycles, moonwalks, and flips. This is a competition to test drivers' skill and creativity with their truck. Up first is going to be Levi Savage in Savage. Excuse me, this was your 3rd place finisher in this competition. Levi Savage and Savage started off with a moonwalk off the step up, reversing it into the container backflip and getting a nice bicycle save there. Then coming down to the other side of the track for a bicycle to moonwalk attempt. Oh my goodness, shredding the left rear off.
Ending up with a 19.5 out of a possible 30.
And huge damage for that team to repair. Anyways, in 2nd place was Dusty Garcia in Big Bad Wolf, opting for the safe move of performing a moonwalk off the center pod.
Oh, with how far forward that bow tie is, I wouldn't call it as safe as you'd think. And
tried to go for a combination there, could not quite get it. So their 2nd attempt off the back of the container backflip.
A tombstone. Still sticking with the front, never mind, flipping it over. Tries to go for the slap, doesn't hit it. Another 19.5.
And your winner of the best skills competition tonight here in Anaheim was Skinner in the Windbreaker.
Beautiful
First move was a moonwalk.
It up. And a flip. Consecutive.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
You want to talk about gravity defying? That is exactly what the judges are looking for here in Anaheim. They want to see you do the unthinkable in this competition. And speaking of unthinkable, that is a massive sidewall donut. He's still keeping it on the sidewalls. That is at least 5 or 6 rotations and into a moonwalk. Oh my goodness. Now a reverse sidewall donut. How does he do it? How does anybody have that level of truck control? That was absolutely incredible. Phenomenal performance from Skinner and the Windbreaker.
Yeah, at some point it seems like you gotta just mash the throttle and hold on.
So your points following the best skills competition. Skinner now leads for the overall with 31 points. Monster and Evil Force was bumped down to 2nd and is now tied with Dusty with 29 points. One more competition left, folks, and that is your freestyle competition. Each driver gets 2 minutes on the clock from the start of their first move. Judges are looking for combos, big air, insane tricks, technical moves, and of course, filling the time. If you don't fill the time, you are not going to win. That is a hugely important factor. Coming up first is going to be Rusty Business, driven by Foxy. Time will start when they make their first move. Rusty Business did not make it as far in the racing bracket as they would have liked.
And gonna launch it up into the air.
Time will start with that move. Once again, folks, judges are looking for technicality, skill, big air, insane tricks, and there's some nice air right there indeed. And of course, filling the clock. It's so important to fill the clock in this competition. But also, the judges don't want to see you putz around this track for 1 minute. They want to see you go big right from the start. And Rusty Business is doing exactly that, getting some nice air off of all three the jumps they've hit so far.
Yeah, huge air is a strong suit. Nice sky wheelie.
Beautiful positioning off the back of the step up. Rusty Business keeping it together and doing a nice job out there. Oh my! Trying to get a little moonwalk, couldn't quite get it. Nevertheless, they will continue with their freestyle run. And pulling a moonwalk like that in the middle of your freestyle run so suddenly is a dangerous move because that can end badly.
Crosses over all the way over the backflip trench. Huge air off the pod.
Massive send off the center pod. That was some very impressive air indeed. Trying to get a butt kicker off the step up. Will succeed in doing so. That's impressive. That's the technicality that the judges want to see.
Just under 30 seconds left on the clock now. More big air over the step up.
Looks like they could be making their way down to the container backflip ramp. Indeed they are. Going for the backflip. Beautifully executed.
Not going to combo at 10 seconds. Now 8. More big air.
Oh my, and the left rear goes flying off.
And that is time.
The time will end with that. So a very solid performance from Rusty Business. With a score of 17.5, that will put them in first place and will set the bar for the rest of the competitors.
Next out on track, we'll have Psycho Circus, driven by Nick Killis.
As I mentioned earlier, this is a former freestyle champion in this tour. Oh my goodness, starting it off with a humongous sky wheelie off the back of the step up. Talk about announcing your presence.
Has to back it up though. That'll cost a couple points possibly.
Indeed, with a competition as fierce as this one here in the MTM League, judges don't want to see you back up unless you are making a move, so that could hurt him in the scores. Wasting no time at all, already going for the container backflip 30 seconds into the run.
That backflip can cause huge damage, so you got to be careful when you throw that in.
However, clearly Killis is not afraid of that container backflip ramp.
More huge air. This track just designed to throw people up in the air.
Indeed, and of course Angel Stadium here in Anaheim has got a huge floor space, so the drivers have got a lot of room to travel when they hit these jumps. Psycho Circus now down to 1 minute remaining. I think if they are going to take the lead from Rusty Business, they're really going to have to step up at this point. The flow has been good, but honestly, I feel like Rusty Business had more air, and in some ways was more spectacular. Oh my goodness!
Jeez, you spoke too soon. Wow, what a front flip combination.
Making me eat my own words. Killis in Psycho Circus with the moon flip off the jammer. That's definitely going to impress the judges, and if we don't have a new leader here, oh, the fans are not going to be happy.
And huge slap wheelie combo. Bounces it on the tailgate.
12 seconds remain for Killis and Psycho Circus. He's got to finish this run strong and in a spectacular fashion. Going for the backflip off the back of what was the racing jump and into a moonwalk. Now that is spectacular. Going to wrap it up with a cross thread over the center pod. And that's going to do it for Killis and Psycho Circus. So a great performance from the Psycho Circus team. And indeed, that will be your new leader with a score of 23.
Another truck filling the time. Good stuff, good stuff. Next up will be the VP Mad Scientist, driven by Blaine.
Blaine in the VP Racing Fuels Mad Scientist did not make it as far in the racing bracket as he would have liked. And I know that he's looking to make it up here, going for a full send off the center pod. Oh my goodness.
Clears the rest of the track.
That was some serious elevation, Holmes.
Barely keeps it off of the wall, too. Around the trench. Gonna set up for the ramp set beside it.
I am shocked that truck survived the landing. That was a humongous jump. So Blaine and the Mad Scientist making their presence known. Now they've really got to step it up. Killis and Psycho Circus threw down an incredible run. It's going to take a wing and a prayer, I think, to knock him out of the hot seat. Nevertheless, Blaine and the Mad Scientist is going for more huge air off the front side of that far end step up. Flying the full send flag off the back of that truck and living up to the name. Arguably the biggest air we've seen so far of the night.
Tried to pop the rear end back up off the bounce, didn't get it. Huge sky wheelie though. Throws it sideways to hit the next ramp. Rolls over to get the momentum.
40 seconds remaining for Blaine and the Mad Scientist. I think if he wants to take the lead away from Killis, he's really got to do something spectacular. I'm not sure
careful.
if big air is going to be enough to take the lead.
Huge sky wheelie.
Oh, the body goes flying off. Can he save it? Yes, he can. So a great save from Blaine and the Mad Scientist with just 15 seconds left to go in this run.
Gonna run towards the backflip ramp.
He's got only 8 seconds. He's got to hit it quick.
Gets a little sideways, gets a bit of a corkscrew. Is gonna put it on 2 wheels. And we'll
so a sidewall donut save to cap off the run for Blaine and the Mad Scientist. A very good performance, but if I'm a judge, I don't know if that takes the lead, and it doesn't. An 18.5 for the Mad Scientist. That'll put him in second place for now. Coming up next, Cameron in Kamikaze.
Gonna start off big over the far step up. Lands on all fours, not what you want to do, but keeps the truck together. More big air on hit number 2.
I'm interested to see, Thunder, as we watch Cameron and Kamikaze perform his freestyle. I'm interested to see how the other drivers who are still yet to go, and there are still lots who have yet to go, are going to react to this freestyle competition as Cameron gets a nice slap wheelie over the pod, comboing it up into another slap wheelie. But how are they going to react? Is their strategy gone out the window after the run that Killis put down, or are they just going to try something totally insane?
Yeah, the drivers, it's both an advantage and a disadvantage. Get to see what each driver does before them, but you also have to see what you have to step up if you can. Kamikaze going over that little jammer, the first one to hit it actually.
Indeed, first one to hit that jammer in that corner, kind of in an awkward spot though, so I don't blame the other drivers for having not touched it yet. Nice air from Cameron and Kamikaze off what was the racing lane jump. 50 seconds left in this run, and without wishing to be disrespectful to our good friend Cameron and Kamikaze, this run hasn't really stood out to me as one that could take the lead from Killis. Nevertheless, he's lining up for the container backflip ramp, executes it brilliantly, looking to get the combo into the moonwalk, and will succeed in doing so. 30 seconds left on the clock for Cameron and Kamikaze. Cross-threading it over the jammer, and that is a hard ramp to hit. Nevertheless, the truck was able to survive the impact.
Now just 15 seconds left. Let's see what they can throw together.
And they need to throw something together if they want to hope to take the lead. And the clock is going to end with that huge send right there So a solid performance, a very solid performance from Cameron and Kamikaze.
We'll see.
However, I don't believe that it's enough to take the lead from Killis and Psycho Circus, and it's not. In fact, they tied with our previous truck, an 18.5. That'll tie them with the Mad Scientist. Anyways, coming up next, Mr. Grimm driving Christine.
Big air to start off. It seems to be a trend here, trying to make a good first impression.
Absolutely, that is definitely going to be the theme of the night. Start your run off big and strong, and Christine doing exactly that.
I like the Hot Wheels flags off the back. Huge air off of the logs in the pod. Goes off the mini flip ramp.
First one to hit the mini flip, almost got themselves in trouble, excuse me, but did a nice job saving it. Another thing that the judges are looking for here in tonight's competition is creativity. Oh my goodness, that's a big send. But yeah, the judges are looking for creativity. They want to see these drivers tackle this course in a way that nobody else has yet. And that's tricky to do when there are only so many ramp faces. However, it's definitely not impossible.
That's one of the reasons you'll see drivers hitting things at the side of the ramps are crooked.
Indeed, they're just trying to make themselves stand out from the rest of the pack in the hopes to get the lead in this competition. Mr. Grimm and Christine doing a nice job out there. Great flow, great momentum.
Beautiful slap wheelie.
We've seen a lot of great moves out of Mr. Grimm and the Christine team. Oh, talk about being creative. Nobody's hit that step up in that way before. You can get yourself in trouble doing that. Nevertheless, Mr. Grimm holds on.
In any fairgrounds show, the entire crowd would go crazy on that alone, but geez, massive
Oh my
air.
goodness. More huge air.
Uses the jammer to turn. What's he got planned here? He's got 10
seconds left. Looks like they might be going for a moonwalk. Oh my goodness. Could not get those front tires to bite, and the truck will turtle. That's going to wrap it up for Mr. Grimm and Christine. Nevertheless, it's enough for second place currently with a 19.5 from the judges. Coming up next are some highlights. First off, Savannah in Owo, who I guess had a bet to do their freestyle run in reverse and gets an incredible save. Wow, a reverse donut to boot as well.
Reminds me of something Bill Payne's done before. Beautifully done to get a 15.5 just in reverse.
I'm not sure if doing a freestyle run in reverse is a strategy that I would recommend to any driver.
Well, didn't end up filling time, so he still had potential.
Oh! Colliding with the wall, that's going to be an immediate RII. You must stay off the wall. Anyways, Ace Man in Shocker. With a great save right off the bat. Almost got himself in trouble by touching the wall.
Massive air.
So Ace Man and Shocker clearly not afraid to send that truck and get it into situations that are dangerous. Oh, speaking of dangerous, that is a hard hit on the chassis. Nevertheless, can he save it? Wow. That was spectacular. So a great save for Ace Man and Shocker. Unfortunately, Dusty Garcia and Big Bad Wolf got a DNF. This means that they did not fill the first 30 seconds of the clock, which means they will not get a score. That's a huge crash and an unfortunate end to the night for the Big Bad Wolf team. Not at all how they wanted to do that. Anyways, Jack comes out in hightail with enormous leap. Incredible cross thread. Clearly not afraid to send that truck. Oh, that was a hard hit on the left rear wheel.
Yeah, that pod is not soft. Tries to save it in reverse.
Still saving it.
Heads up. Wow.
And that will conclude our highlights. Coming up next, your racing winner looking to double down. Monster in Evil Force, wasting no time to tackle this track. And already getting themselves in trouble. Hold on to it, Monster. Oh boy. Great save to start off the run.
More giant air off that pod. Rather than the arenas, you have a lot more floor space to get up to speed before hitting it.
Indeed, and of course that chassis that Monster runs is lighter than most of the others, which also helps in getting that huge air. Oh my goodness, I am in awe. Monster and Evil Force doing a great job. The flow has been incredible, and we're only 40 seconds into this run. Feels like we've been here for 2 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of momentum in this run so far. Noses it down. Quick turn. Holds it on one wheel for a second. Cross threads. Whoa.
That was a very dangerous spot they just got themselves in, but was able to recover it. This is the kind of run I think that it's going to take to knock off Killis in Psycho Circus, executing the backflip brilliantly, getting a moonwalk out of it as well.
A beautiful combo. Nice sky wheelie.
Once again, I bring up the creativity factor again. Monster is out there hitting these ramps in ways that we really haven't seen anybody else hit them. And the flow has been great. We've seen a couple of great saves already. This is a truly fantastic run. Body flying off once again. Oh my gosh. Now that, oh, it takes some guts to do that, let me tell you. That was an impressive leap. So 5 seconds left. The run is going to conclude with this move.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness. Monster in Evil Force has gone off the hook.
Puts it
Here
on
at
the
Angel
lid.
Stadium in Anaheim. If this doesn't take the lead, we're going to have to escort the judges out of here. It does take the lead, but only just. It's a 23.5 for Monster in Evil Force.
Next up, Jake Supernova.
I mentioned earlier, Jake tells us that he is more of a freestyler than he is a racer. Oh, what is with everybody getting this insane air here tonight?
I love the reverse hit. Slaps it up.
Indeed, that's the first reverse move of the night. But yeah, as I was saying, Jake Boone tells us he's more of a freestyler than a racer. This is his chance now to prove that.
His first reverse hit aside from OO's run.
Oh yes, that's true. I
More
completely
big
forgot.
air.
Incredible air from Jake Boone in Supernova.
Turns around right quick. It's on two wheels, keeps it going.
Now, as a driver, Jake's strategy as a driver is to rely on the spectacular. He deliberately upsets that truck just so that he can save it. We see him do that over and over again. Oh my goodness, speaking of which,
What on earth?
What was that?
Gotta be save of the year.
Absolutely, definitely a nomination for Save of the Year. He's still going. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Jake relies on deliberately upsetting that truck just so that he can save it, and he has phenomenal truck control that allows him to pull these insane moves in that Supernova truck. 30 seconds left in the run. Now, if I'm Monster, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting really nervous. Oh, that is a hard hit on the right rear. That's going to be an RII as he shreds the right rear tire off. It's a 21.5 for Supernova, not enough to take the lead.
Good enough for
Once
second
again,
with
you
how
have
much?
to fill that clock. Filling the clock, so important.
I think
Coming up
that
next,
is what killed it.
the runner-up to the racing competition, Skinner in the windbreaker.
More huge air to start off. Ooh, it's the backside of that ramp.
That was a very hard hit. I'm amazed nothing broke. Once again, folks, your leader remains Monster in Evil Force with a 23.5.
Lands on the side two wheels.
That was a hard side slap. Now, Skinner's truck is unique amongst all the others that compete in MTM because this truck is front-engined.
Sure, not very many of those left around.
Going for a consecutive backflip and into a wheelie. Now, that's a hugely impressive move.
Wow, great run so far from your racing runner-up.
Oh no, that is not a good spot to be in. It's a big crash for Skinner in the windbreaker, and that's going to be the end of the run, so something must have broke, causing that truck to get shut off. Oh, they've refired. Skinner has refired and is cruising around with 2 invisible front wheels. No, there we go, we're fixed again. So Skinner in the windbreaker, doing an incredible job out there, trying to knock off the man who beat him in the racing competition, Monster and Evil Force. Now this, you want to talk about excellent truck control, that was a reverse wheelie, not a moonwalk, a reverse wheelie into a somersault. Oh, he's in trouble now. Way too close to the wall. They're going to shut him down. It's going to be a 20 for Skinner in the windbreaker. Not enough to take the lead from Monster and Evil Force.
Last but not least, Levi Savage, piloting the Savage Monster Truck.
Now, as I stated earlier, Monster and Evil Force looking to double down. And this is the last run of the night. However, I don't think he could have foreseen Savage starting with a backflip.
Backflip to the short moonwalk.
Indeed, we talked about how drivers were going to be able to separate themselves in tonight's freestyle competition. That's exactly how you do it. Start your run in a way that nobody else has. So it's a tall order from Savage to try and win this freestyle competition.
Massive air, blinking the light.
That was some serious elevation, Holmes. Showing up on the radar at John Wayne International Airport. And as we've seen throughout the night, however, I'm confident that big air is not going to be enough to win this competition, not after the runs that we saw Monster and Killis lay down. You're gonna have to give us more. You're gonna have to give us the spectacular, the crazy, the chaos. That's what we want to see, and that's what it's gonna take if you're gonna win this. Going for the mini flip ramp, skywheeling it off of that. Gonna use the jammer for a moonwalk. Again, I'm liking the flow, I'm liking the technicality. Could use a little more wow factor though, but he's still got time. 36 seconds are left on the clock for Savage.
Gonna hit that trench again. Another short moonwalk. Not able to get the rear end all the way up for it. Massive
and now
air.
Savage is going for broke. That is tremendous air. Tried to get a moonwalk out of that, couldn't quite get it. 15 seconds remain for Savage. Going for a reverse donut. Again, this is a great run. Very, very strong. But I don't believe it's enough to take the lead from Monster and Evil Force.
Going for a reverse move. Some good air. And that'll be time.
So waiting for the official word from the judges as Savage ends its run in spectacular fashion.
21
points. It will not be enough to take the lead. So, your winner in freestyle, doubling down, winning both racing and freestyle, Monster in Evil Force, this will also allow him to take home the overall win with 45 points. Skinner in the Windbreaker finishes second in overall with 43, and Z Golden Savage finishes third in the overall with 37.
That'll do it for Anaheim Show 2.
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Once again, my name is Jack, joined by the legendary Thunder. This is Monster Truck Mayhem, and until next time, we will see you later.